Now, ladies and gentlemen, you know, talking is cheap. But we can't all condemn the white man. There's something we got to do. The white man is doomed, but we got to help him on his way. And I don't mean in the jest of hate. I mean according to the plan of divine providence. He that has been up a long time must come down. He that's been down a long time must rise.
You are an American Negro and an American Negro only. Subscribe. YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and Spotify, Rumble, and the non-crackers at Apple, Twitter X, or White Truth.
Sister is black, but she is sure not pretty, and her skirt is short. Lord knows the legs are sturdy, and to walk to school, she's got to get up early. Her clothes on, but they are never ever dirty. They're living just enough, that's enough for the city. Her brother is smart, he's got more sense than many. His patience is long, but soon he won't have any. 'Cause to find a job is like a haystack needle. Was where he lives, they don't use colored people. They're living just enough for the city.
And now, our feature presentation.
But we can't all condemn the white man. There's something we got to do. The white man is doomed, but we got to help him on his way.
Welcome to Rasslin with Racism, where we wrestle with racism every single day of our lives. If you are an American Negro and you are not subscribed to Rasslin with Racism, check out the other content. And if it hits you to the core, subscribe and share with every single American Negro that you know, whether they are wrestling fans or not. You may also find Rasslin with Racism on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Fanbase, Spotify, Rumble, and at Non-Crackers at Al on Twitter X, where you can find more white truths. I'm joined by my co-host, the owner of a stolen gun. What's up?
Peace and blessings, everybody.
Deportation 2025 is not available right now. He don't give a shit about John Cena, quite frankly. A lot of people don't. We are joined by a foundational bearded American. What's up?
What's going on? How y'all doing?
Hopefully all American Negroes are doing well. Those that are not, we are sending prayers to you.
Absolutely.
This is a little emotional program tonight because last time is now. You know, last year, John Cena came out and announced that he was retiring from the WWE. And he said that he would have his last match on this date. And here we are today, December 13th, 2025. And the last time is now. Owner, how do you feel about the death of John Cena?
Couldn't come soon enough. Feels like this motherfucker been dead. Past 5 years. You know, they finally putting a nail in the coffin on.
Eve Torres. Well, she didn't age like a Mexican woman. What do y'all think the Trish Stratus would look like if she didn't have them surgeries?
Sheep shit in shallow ass water.
Would she look like Rob Van Dam?
Wow, Sammy, that kid looks nothing like
Oh
him.
my God.
What is this?
I don't know. Why he not backstage with the rest of his compadres?
Yeah.
That is crazy. They showing all these white fans. Oh, they showed a nigger at the end. I'm sorry, Honor. You said who did what now? Okay, so we looking at Saturday night main event live. We're an hour late. Had a lot of stuff to get together, get the family and stuff together, but we are here, and we did miss the first two matches. And real quick, a foundational bearded American. Chad, can you run over real quick what happened in the first two matches?
In the first match, I mean, it was basically it was no grandstanding at all. It was just a good match. Despite the involvement of Drew McIntyre, the melanated giant from Lagos really showed out, and he looked physically imposing over the smaller and blander Cody Rhodes. In fact, I think he won over the crowd because every time he was doing something, they were going hoot, and I'm not saying hoot as in Braun Breaker. They was following everything Oba. Oba had them in the palm of their hands.
Would you label this the best match? I'm sorry, because I keep thinking about, now they got Stephanie on here.
Oh Lord, I just looked up. She's so damn.
Every time she smiles, she look like she holding the fart in.
Every time. If she's not doing the smile with the teeth, even then it look like she's trying to stop a turtle head.
Yeah.
But you know,
this is funny too. We're gonna talk about Stephanie McMahon, how she got into the WWE Hall of Fame, because she is the first inductee. But we are going to talk in detail about Stephanie McMahon. It's actually quite a few things that I want to discuss in regards to Stephanie McMahon as to why she doesn't have an official job in the WWE. We're going to talk a lot about the McMahons, and we're going to talk a lot about Triple H. I did get into a little discussion about Triple H yesterday. Does it look like Obafemi was comfortable in this role?
More than comfortable. He was moving well. He was correcting things. Like Cody overshot both of those Cody cutters, and if Oba did not make the adjustments, it would have been 2 botches back to back. So he was very comfortable at the ring. He didn't sweat the crowd. He was just completely composed.
All right, what happened in the next match?
I had the need to just skip it because I wasn't invested. And not to say that the women are bad, but I just know what I'm gonna watch. I know what I'm gonna watch. The Bayley's been losing, she's gonna keep losing. And why would you put a fresh up and coming star like Sol Ruka against someone like Bayley and let her lose? So
I want to talk about Bayley right quick, and before I do, the sole reason as to why we are watching WWE Saturday Night Main Event is right now. The young OG, Javon Evans, is out here, and as he prepared for obviously the biggest match of his life, him and Leon Slater, who is British, white, and Jamaican. And we're going to talk a lot about Leon Slater in a minute. But they are facing AJ Styles and Dragon Lee for the WWE Tag Team Championship. And I'm pretty sure that this got potentials to be the match of the year, given time. I'm not too familiar with Dragon Lee, but I'm very familiar with AJ Styles, as he is one of the greatest professional wrestlers of all time. I do want to make that comparison that AJ Styles may be one of the greatest wrestlers of all times, but when he was 21, Javon Evans is pretty much in the same position. He's in the position where he can work with the young guys and he can work with the vets. But we are going to discuss, do he have the potential to have the career and the opportunities that AJ Styles was afforded due to his hard work? We're going to talk about that. The only reason why I brought that up is because this match is taking place right now, and he is the only reason as to why we are watching. So let me get back to Bayley real quick. What's going on with Bayley? Why are they disrespecting this Mexican white woman?
I don't know. I really think they don't know what to do with her. I mean, Bayley has had 3 character changes in less than 10 years, probably less than 5 years.
It's funny that it's interesting that you brought that up, because I was going to discuss character changes that white folk and Hispanics and stuff could have, but American Negro. When was the last time you seen an American Negro with the character change?
We can say technically
Black
our
Snow.
truth, but no, but that's not that doesn't count because he went right back to what he was doing.
Right
like
back to it. It's like it never happened.
So other than that, really can't think.
Yeah.
New Day, but that was a failure. No, I can't think. I really cannot think of a successful character change for any American Negro, let alone a melanated person.
Now, why was the New Day character change a failure? Is it because they stayed a little bit longer than their welcome? But why did that fail?
Well, historically, for the last decade, the WWE has been extremely lazy with the booking of the WWE Tag Team Champions in the division as a total. So this was just basically throwing shit against the wall, seeing if it would stick. Evidently, it didn't.
Well, I can't necessarily say that that's their fault because they did throw it to the wall, and it seemed like they superseded everyone's expectations as they received some of the biggest reactions of the year, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And attention. I mean, at the beginning of what seemed to be a breakout feud, that's what everybody was looking at. And it just seems funny. Anytime, foundational Black Americans and melanated people in this company do something, it starts great. It gets eyes. And then it just falls apart.
Yeah, definitely.
That's an ongoing thing. That is an ongoing thing. We've seen it time and time again. Do I have to say the Hurt Business? Do I have to say
we're going to get into, I hope Duke got up here because we are going to get into the Hurt Business because some shit is going to hit the fan as they are not as hot as they started, as apparently they may not have nothing to do for them. I don't know where you at on everything.
I'm just catching up with the show. Femi looks like he's been there before. I'm really proud of how he performed tonight. I think the finish was bullshit. I don't think are they gonna pull the trigger and put Javon and this Leon guy over tonight? I don't feel like it. So that's a wash for me. That's really the only other match worth watching. So.
Well, I mean, I've been noting that WWE is in heavy pandering mode right now. If Javon Evans lose this match tonight, this will be his. Javon already starting off on fire. We already expected this. If Javon Evans lose tonight, this will be his 27th loss of the year, and he had one draw, which I count as a loss, so it will be his 29th loss of the year. I'm sorry, these guys are starting off on fire right now. Rapid tags, rapid flying all over the place. I got to say this about Javon Evans. He's 21 years old, and although he may not have a successful year in the WWE here in the next few years, I'm glad that he's learning in the WWE, especially specifically from Shawn Michaels, because it is going to make him a greater wrestler once he gets to traveling around the world. He could be doing so much retarded shit right now. If he was in the Indies, he would be doing so much retarded shit right now. And it's like he knows where to place what he does. He's very good. He's one of the better high flyers that we've seen, possibly since AJ Styles, because he's able to put everything together so well and make it make sense.
That's one of the really fantastic things about his skill set. He's a really smart dude. He's not an idiot. He's not a fucking jackass like these Darby Allins, these whoever breaking their legs over in AEW.
He's showing that you don't need to be, right?
Facts.
Tuco Scorpio, when he innovated this style in America, he literally showed that you don't need to be. Rey Mysterio, when he, maintained this style in America, Juventud Guerrero, they showed that you don't need to be. Rob Van Dam showed you that you don't need to be. And it's like today, people want to do everything, but don't want to stick to the basics of it. And they come out so trash. When you don't sell, they come out so trash. It's like you at the point now to where nobody have to sell anything. Do a super kick, your opponent come right back at you with a super kick. Come back with another super kick, he come right back at you with another super kick. Then go into a DDT and you could pop right back up and do a DDT again. This is where we're at right now. You know, Larry Zbyszko, Nick Bockwinkel, Bruno, all these people is rolling over in they fucking graves. And how weak do it make people like Bam Bam Bigelow and Vader and all these other people, big people, you know, legends? Paul Orndorff, how do we make them look who had to fall 1, 2, 3 to a leg drop, or 1, 2, 3 to a DDT or something, or 1, 2, 3 to a suplex? How weak do it make them look to when you got small guys like Leon Slater?
My fan psychology has always been, it's not the moves, it's the person doing the move. The DDT, people aren't going 1, 2, 3 dropping to the DDT today because motherfuckers aren't doing it right. That's always been my thing.
Yeah.
We saw it with CM Punk and Jey Uso. It was a simple spinning neck breaker. He went 360 when you only had to go 180.
I hate how, including Javon Evans, I hate how everyone does the cutter. But I hate how everyone does the cutter like Javon Evans now.
What you mean, like relying on the person that's supposed to sell? Because if they're not in position, you fucked up, basically.
Well, I don't see why everybody should have to do this move. It should be Javon Evans' move right now. Now, to be fair, wasn't this Cody move at first?
Yes.
Okay, so that's why I'm kind of disappointed in Javon Evans doing that. But he did take this move, and he did make it his own, and it should remain his own because Cody didn't get the height that he got,
Yeah, he'll never get that height.
And Cody, he didn't even really innovate that springboard cutter. I think Jay Lethal really was the original springboard
I was just going to say it.
Yeah, the original. Now, was it before John Cena Stunner?
Way before. That shit in 2005.
Let's wake it up now.
And he did it way more. He did a little flip with it. The tumble.
It was before the BFT.
Now, is Dragon Lee Mexican or is he Japanese?
Oh. I think he's Mexican.
Because usually with a name like Lee, Dragon and Lee, that's usually Asian. So, I don't know. Now, AJ Styles is going in for the Styles Clash.
Yeah, I think when he said this, Dragon Lee is more like he's Dragon Lee. Not Lee, but Lee, L-Y, but they spell it that way. I think it was a play on words.
Okay, I'm just double checking right quick. Yeah. For the longest time, I thought that Ultimo Dragon was, AJ Styles just botched like a motherfucker.
Yeah. We're a little bit behind. I'm going to rewind a little bit.
Yeah, AJ Styles just botched like a motherfucker. He just fell off the top rope.
But trying to do a springboard. To his credit, the commentary could have easily cleaned that up. These ropes are very slippy because the way he fell. He didn't try to.
No, he didn't. He fell. He definitely fell.
We saw that shit he fell. So the commentary should have said, these ropes are slippery. That's all he had to say. That's all.
Sol Ruka White. Oh God, that was a basic finish.
Right.
I'm glad the white man got pinned, but at the same time, this does show that Javon Evans got his 29th loss of the year. I want to talk about that real quick because, Trick Williams, who was a standout performer this year, at least in my eyes, has lost a total of 33 matches this year. Trick Williams carried 2 brands.
Mm-hmm.
And he's lost 33 times this year, despite his performances. You wouldn't know that he lost those matches because he performed so well. Why do white folk believe that we're supposed to accept the fact that Carmelo Hayes only had 36 matches this year and he's only won 12 of them? Why do white folk feel like we should accept these failures because they're in the ring with AJ Styles, or because they won the Iron Man match just to lose the NXT title match later on the next couple of days later, or because they facing the Miz and shit. Why do white folk feel like we should accept these guys' failures because they facing Gunther and shit? Why should this happen?
You know how when we as American Negroes sense something and we quote unquote our antennas go off? White people have something similar, and it's when their little chip kicks in to preserve their position of dominance, and they don't even know it, and they always disguise it behind what's right, or haven't you had enough, when is enough, you keep on. They have all these little tropes that they have, and it's all a little mechanism in their head that clicks on. They have no control over it. Just like we sense bullshit from a mile away. That's all it is. It's just their self-preservation and trying to keep the dominance. They want wrestling to be white forever, even at its own detriment. Even if it fails, they want it to be a white man's sport, to quote Jim Ross. That's all it is.
The WWE and AEW, it appears, is willing to kill their business before they allow an American Negro to succeed genuinely. Owner?
It's no secret that AJ Styles Dragon Elite tag team isn't really doing anything for anyone. It's not going anywhere. I think Javon and Leon Slater, for what he's worth, they had some direction. You could work with those guys. The WWE is in desperate need of new blood. That was a perfect opportunity to usher in a new generation of tag team stars, but I don't know. Fuck logic, I guess.
So they do have that opportunity. I feel like the tag team division is about to be revitalized. They're going to put more effort into the tag team division. Why do I say that? I'm not sure if y'all are aware of this. When we kind of talked about this earlier in the year, I've been going through a lot of stuff preparing for season 3 coming up here in a couple of weeks. We've been talking about this. Eventually, the Usos are going to come back together and be the ones that revitalize the tag team division. Now, whether they actually revitalize the tag team division or not, I don't know. Time will tell. But I did state that they are going to use the Usos to do that. And now Usos are in contention for the tag team titles as they're preparing to face the New Day on Monday. I also stated that they were going to use the New Day to initially get the Usos over. And that is happening right now. Chad?
Yeah, and one thing I noticed, and it's probably just some long time, I might be reaching with this, but what is Jey Uso's most talk about flaw? He's trash on the mic. Okay, that's one thing. And what did they do last Monday? They let him go out there as a tag team with him and his brother, when historically it's always been them going backwards and forth on the mic, finishing their sentences, or it's Jimmy doing the boat work of the talking. Who was doing the boat work this time? Jey. That's who was doing the boat work of the talking, to the point where he was breaking down Dragon Lee, starting to speak in his own language, and then they sunned the New Day, which was extremely disrespectful. And now all of a sudden, it's Uso Penitentiary all over again. That's gonna last for probably.
I mean, weren't they teasing them breaking up or some shit? Or
that's what they're doing. It's evident of what they're doing. They're gonna put them together, break them up, and I guarantee you, after they break them up, Jey is gonna go back to the top, and he's gonna be able to work the mic all of a sudden.
Go ahead.
I just don't get it. This Jey Uso has been so exposed this year as really not having any talent or drive and ambition to improve. I don't know why they would give him with anything. He should be in catering.
Triple H has never created a star, and he think that he can tether off of Jey's somewhat organic ascension. You do realize Triple H is going on several podcasts saying that he invented the yeet thing. He's setting the seeds to make it seem like he made something.
Whoop that trick got potential to be greater than yeet.
Oh, they know that. They know that because when I believe it was maybe like a year ago, Carmelo Hayes made his debut and Trick Williams was his backup. When Trick Williams came out there, he had the whole crowd moving. The motherfuckers was dancing like Biggie was performing at the Garden. We never seen him. We never seen him again. What?
Where is Trick Williams?
No, that's the $1 million question. Where is Trick Williams? I see they're pushing Lash Legend along, and I love that bird. But Trick should be there too. He has every right, if not more, to be on the main roster.
It's amazing how they go after a man's woman, elevate the woman, just to cause that type of possible tension between them two. You know what I'm saying? This year, Lash Legend has not had a very successful year. She was missing throughout the month of February. They fired her tag team partner. But I have got to say that she has had a phenomenal... She has stepped up. I remember, this was at the origins in the beginning of Rasslin with Racism. When Lash Legend, they put Lash Legend match out on WWE Main Event. And, they put her, I forgot who her opponent was, but that was a horrible match. It was horrible. This was literally like one of her first few matches. And it was horrible. She was botching all over the place and everything. And I said that they did that on purpose so that people could ridicule her. They ridiculed the fuck out of her. You know what I'm saying? They ridiculed the fuck out of her. But it's led to where it did today. I'm actually glad that they actually put that match out now. You know what I'm saying? To see how far she progressed. She's an American Negro, and she's doing exactly what we all expected Jade Cargill to do.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And I kind of hate this for Jade, too. But it's going to be beneficial to Jade because Jade is going to be the one to supersede Lash Legend. Because she is a Jamaican woman.
I've always been high on Lash since for a while now, but it's just the last thing she did that I can recall of note before coming to the main roster was lose to Nia Jax, and now she's teaming with Nia Jax. It's just odd. But
well, no, that's good. I get it. The way that they brought it together. How did you get some of your best friends? Sometimes you gotta fight them. You know what I'm saying? Nia Jax is a vet. She like, bitch, you gave me something more than what other people gave me. I like you. Come on, let me take you up under my wing. I'm cool with that. And I'm actually cool with that. I'm actually cool with the fact that her and Nia Jax is the perfect person for her to team up with. I would want them to dominate the tag team division. This is the perfect start for her. I've been a big fan of Nia Jax for a long time. That's a big unconventional bitch that go out there and whoop people ass every time she come out there, and people don't like her. So yeah.
don't get me wrong. I love the tag team, and they look amazing together. And
yes, they
do great things together. I feel like they're gonna have, if anyone's gonna eat the pins, they're gonna have Lash be the pin eater.
The key with that though, the key with that is I don't think that they're going to be the ones to drop the loose. Now, if they do, then, once again, just wake up the fact that Triple H is a racist. And we can harp down on that, but I don't think that they're going to be taking them losses. And if they do take them losses, you better believe it's going to lead to a breakup. Now, what they do with Lash Legend after that breakup is different. We're going to talk, WWE backed themselves into a corner. And we are going to talk about that in detail as time progressed. Apparently, this was a 2-hour show. So once John Cena match is over, then we're going to talk a lot about the state of the WWE. I want to let everybody know that this is not an official return We're still on hiatus, but I felt compelled to do this program because John Cena is considered one of the greatest WWE superstars of all times. And it is fitting for us to give him this funeral. You know, John Cena is a I gotta give it to him. He's not lazy. You know what I'm saying? He's not in this position for no reason, because he has traveled the world over and garnered some of the biggest reactions. John Cena is a person who you know, people, when Triple H was a face, didn't like Triple H. But every time you go somewhere, you always heard 100% cheering. You know what I'm saying? You didn't hear the boos. Some people didn't like Hulk Hogan, but you heard 100% the cheering. You didn't hear the boos. John Cena gave you an opportunity to hear every single reaction. If people didn't like him, you heard this section that didn't like him. If people loved him, you heard this section of people that loved him. But at the end of the night, John Cena had everybody on their feet. John Cena had everybody on their feet.
Oh boy. Okay, they're featuring R-Truth at the moment.
So what the fuck is the point of having all this stuff together?
I guess they trying to give off the perception of they're trying, we're going to have fun as we let John Cena go out into pasture. But that's not even real. He's going to be the ambassador for another half a decade. He ain't really going nowhere. So he ain't wrestling no more, but that's all it is. They're trying to hold on to him as long as they can.
I was just gonna say, didn't John just sign a 5-year contract?
Mm-hmm.
But it's not like he's going anywhere.
Why is?
Well, he's definitely not going nowhere. Oh God.
Yeah, bro.
I was talking about that. Joe Hendry. It was cute and stuff, but this is not something that I would want to see from him 2 years from now. You know what I'm saying? I get why people pop for it. It's something that's innovative. You've never seen it before. Just Joe.
Taka, Funaki, Japan #1 tag team. How you doing? Oh, I know. The customs. Okay. What's going on, guys? Who are you? I'm just Joe. Hey, big match tonight, huh? You guys, Chaz D'Lo? Big match. You two. Huh? Chaz D'Lo, I just speak. They say some things I don't. All right, fine. Chaz and D'Lo, they say you guys suck. Huh? They say you're terrible. Huh? I know. They say you guys are awful. You don't understand English, do you? All right. Chaz D'Lo, gabaka da deo. Gabaka da deo. Taka Funaki, gabaka da deo. Whoa! Sorry to go gay, the messenger.
Al Snow. Singing Britney Spears.
Al, can I talk to you for a second?
Oh, boy.
I'm just Joe.
Just Joe?
Yeah.
The Joe? The mysterious man who sometimes spreads true, sometimes false stories, but always interesting about the rest of the people in the company?
I don't know what you're talking about.
It must be somebody else. What can I do you for, Joe?
Well, I was in the change room, and I overheard Lowdown talking about you.
About me?
Well, yeah. They were saying things about you. They said you had this goofy look going on, that basically you do this type of stuff just to get attention.
To get attention?
Yeah, for your lack of skills. And then they started talking about Head.
Head? They were talking about Head?
I knew.
They were talking about us?
Yeah, they were talking about...
They were talking about us? You go tell Lowdown. Who's Lowdown?
Chaz and D'Lo Brown.
You go tell Lowdown that we're not going to take that. If they've got a problem with us, if they want a match, we'll be glad to give them one tonight. You tell them that.
Okay, that's not a problem.
Because, Joe, you and I are two regular guys, and we're mad as hell, and we're not going to take it anymore, Joe.
You and I?
I don't see any sense in us putting up with it. You go tell them that we're going to straighten them out. Run, Joe. Run like the wind. Tell them. Ridiculous look. What the hell is he talking about?
Hey, Harry Saturday, how you doing, man? Good to see you. Who are you? I'm just Joe. Yeah. Hey, it is so funny I would run into you right now, because, just a few minutes ago I was talking to Gangrel about you. Who? Gangrel. You're wrestling tonight. He said some stuff about you. My God, it was incredible. It was so fun. What wasn't that fun? Look, you're busy. You're reading the magazine. I understand.
Don't start running your mouth if you're not going to finish what you're saying. Now, what did he say?
I'm not the type to stir up anything. I don't want to cause any problems. It has nothing to do with me. I'll just go. You just read your magazine. Everything will be fine.
Maybe you don't understand what I said. Now, what did he say?
He said you're a cross-eyed freak. That's what he said.
A what?
A cross-eyed freak. That's what he called you. Don't shoot me. I'm just a messenger. Come on.
Touchy.
No. We gotta do this. We're not doing it. The hair's gotta go. It's fur. And I've never met a woman who doesn't like fur. Listen, Chewie. Did Han Solo get Princess Leia or did Chewbacca? Han Solo, Chewbacca. No, the hair's gotta go. No. I'll come back. No, you won't. I got a question. Fur or no fur? I like fur.
I like fur. Fur's good. I don't have a problem with fur. Some other people here do, but I don't.
What? Who?
Oh, nothing. Really. Don't worry.
No. Who?
Well, Chaz and D'Lo.
See? Chaz and D'Lo don't like the fur. Well, when I want a date with Chaz and D'Lo, I'll shave the fur. They say anything else about him?
Well, they did kind of say that you're a bit of an egomaniac and you can't wrestle. You don't know a wrist lock from a wrist watch.
What?
That's what they're saying. In fact, they did mention that they figure you two are probably the absolute worst tag team in the history of the WWF.
Us? He and I. TNA.
It's not me. I'm just a messenger. That's what they said.
They said, get lost.
People remember Just Joe. You know, that I wish he had did something, but you know, I just don't see this lasting for Joe Hendry. Like, why don't white folk get sick of people like Joe Hendry, but they get sick of people like Trick Williams?
You know, he's a joke. They love the comedy acts. You could have a good career. As a matter of fact, I would be happy if Joe Hendry would be the equivalent of R-Truth, having a 20-year career that goes nowhere. And, you know, you're doing all these backstage segments and people saying your name and catering and you popping up with
but no, that's crazy.
Treats. Just look at Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry is not a serious guy. You know, I mean, the Trick Williams is the type of person, you know, he walks in a room, you know, a certain demographic of people start feeling that. You know, that's the issue.
You know, I was talking to some guys on the space yesterday, and, you know, he was talking about the fact that Gunther, you know, is not an old guy, but he's not necessarily a young guy.
Right.
And as he was talking, and I mean, I get what he was saying. He ain't say nothing wrong. But, you know, as I was listening to him talking, he was saying that he could possibly have another 10 years. And I was just sitting back thinking, like, I don't even care to see who Gunther is wrestling at WrestleMania.
I mean, another 10 years of what? I mean, he's mediocre. It's just, he's not the star that they're presenting him as. I mean,
Gunther, let me tell you something about Gunther. People like Gunther. And I often say this about people like Becky Lynch and anyone with the accent. They tend to give these white folk a sense of home. Notice when people think of white folk think of how people are supposed to be in the world, they always think about some foreign British proper type of person. You know, it gives them a sense of home. And a person like Gunther, having been around in so long, they feel comfortable with him. But don't y'all find it odd that, you know, he had a nice Intercontinental title reign and, you know, his world title reign was shit, but don't y'all feel like a person like Gunther accomplished everything that they were supposed to accomplish in wrestling by now? Do y'all get that feeling?
I think he should gain the weight back. That was the worst thing he ever did. Lose that weight. He needs to be husky. That was his stick. That was his draw.
Well, I mean, even if he was to put the weight on at this point, I don't think there's nothing we could do. He's got to go.
I mean, yeah.
And I think that Obafemi is going to show that. Like, Obafemi is going to show that fucking Gunther is actually worthless.
Like, who can stand next to Obafemi besides, like, Brock or somebody like that? He's
honestly
light years ahead of everybody else.
Honestly. I give it to Brock Lesnar for maintaining his shape and everything. But he should really truly be a competitor of him. And the crazy part of this fulfillment of Gunther is Gunther really haven't really faced nobody. You know what I'm saying? He's about to get ready to face John Cena now. He did Goldberg, but he's never faced nobody that could actually stand toe to toe with him. And somebody called him a bully because he always faced smaller people.
I mean, that was how these guys got over. Like Kevin Owens, ROH. Who else was walking around, heavy set like that besides Joe? And then Joe would always fuck him up. Joe was fucking Gunther. He didn't have to go against. He was in there doing around 120-pound twinks. It's nothing. It's not impressive.
Not perfect. You got to take 30 minutes to put these people down on top of that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not impressive at all. Y'all go ahead. Real quick, I need 2 seconds.
Yeah. Them old school matches with Gunther did kind of put people on, like the match with Ilya, the other match with forgot what his name, the British dude. They all got put on because of those matches. So him wrestling little dudes, it's not a bad thing, but they got to mix it up. He should be wrestling people like Brock, John Cena, Roman
But that's where
Reigns.
that's where he gets exposed. I mean,
Yeah.
that's when he's really on the spot. And can he rise to the occasion? I don't think he can really compete with someone who's his physical equal in stature. Physicality. He
Well,
can't get over.
you got to remember
Yes,
at the beginning, they thought WWE, they get complacent in writing. They thought they established what we're talking about at WrestleMania when he defeated Drew McIntyre and Sheamus to retain that title, and it also became match of the year. They thought they were done with that. So from there, they just kept throwing just people at him that he has no business being in the ring with. I don't even like Gunther. Let me be very clear. I am not a fan of this incarnation of him. I liked it when it was Walter. Right when he started, when he got to like 275, 261, was the perfect version of this character. And Walter, not Gunther. But, him losing to Jey Uso the way he lost pretty much buried him for me. I would never look at him the same.
I mean, that did it. That did it, yeah. And it was never no explanation of that. I've always looked for a finish like that. I did, honestly. But not in 6 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
And
he
not Jey
barely
Uso.
cinched that. And not Jey Uso. Because that's not Jey Uso move, is it?
No, none of the moves that he do are his. He got 2 moves: Uso splash, super kick. That's it.
Not like this. This was a nice, quick little show. You know what I'm saying? 4 matches, 2 hours. I like this. This is how a special is supposed to be. But why do y'all believe that they spread 4 matches over 3 or 4 hours? What is the
Laziness.
deal with that, honestly, now?
Laziness. Just laziness disguised by time management. Simple.
But have they ever had a purpose? Have they ever had a reason, I should say?
No.
Have they ever given a reason?
No. And by the way, while we're talking about this, I just heard SmackDown going back to 3 hours, so that's going to be very interesting.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. Why do they take things that's 3 hours? And you add an additional hour, which means you add an additional storyline.
You know what I think it is? I think the reason for the 3 hour thing is because they had a lot of melanin on the Friday night SmackDown. And I think, and them putting all those dark skinned characters on that show and also announcing that they're going to be 3 hours. Do you believe that they're going to pivot from the NXT being called the nigger show to now SmackDown being called the nigger show?
I don't know.
This is something to think about. Because I really think that's what they're doing. And are you
because
going to dedicate?
it appears that they're not leaving us with much. But then, someone had to break it down to me. Deion Lennox, which I don't know if y'all seen NXT last week, at least on the promo end, he do have some work to do inside the ring.
Yes.
As far as being fluid. Not saying that nothing is wrong, but he need to be a little bit more fluid. But he getting there.
Yeah.
That promo that he cut right before the match, that was one of the best promos I've seen in a long time. It wasn't on the mic. He was doing a little interview or some shit, but y'all got to watch that. It was really, really, really good. And Deion Lennox could do something good, but they got Jasper Troy and Shaquan Sugars, and they could leave it in good hands. And white folk was saying that people like Javon Evans need to be down in NXT, and Trick Williams, they gonna leave NXT in bad hands. But what do they got to do with them? You know what I'm saying? Why should their WWE career be held up because NXT didn't prepare for the future? You know what I'm saying? And
I think it's. I don't think it's preparing for the future. I think Trick Williams. I used to say that. And I think two things can be true at the same time. I think they're keeping Trick Williams there because at the time he's really the workhorse of not TNA, but the NXT brand in conjunction with TNA. That's their biggest star.
Well, TNA wasn't shit. When they fired Scott D'Amore, TNA wasn't shit. They had the creative drop the minute they fired him, and that was never an excuse. I thought he was going to the WWE, but he didn't.
Yeah.
And then, immediately after Trick Williams was done, I tried to watch TNA. That shit is horrible.
Yeah. I can only
that Mike
watch
Santana shit. I love Frank. I love Frankie Kazarian, and I'm glad that he got the title. But that should not have happened like that. And it was just.
Wait a minute, Frankie Kazarian is the TNA heavyweight champion.
Oh yeah.
Okay, that's something though. That's something, and I didn't even know it.
Yeah, he won it. He cashed in like a Money in the Bank type. Right now, just real quick, John Cena entrance is happening right now. This is John Cena last match. I was trying to say, I neglected from saying this, but, John Cena traveled all over the world. I truly think that John Cena is tired. I think he beat up. I don't think he really wanted to do this, because if he truly did want to do this, then he would have been here over the last 5 years.
Yeah.
I truly think he done inside the ring. And, he should be. We went so long without John Cena. Him coming back to actually have a run would not do nothing for me. I know it would do something for business. You know what I'm saying? We cannot deny that John Cena just get a reaction out of everybody.
Yeah. I mean, they could have did so much better, man. Are these the pallbearers? These the pallbearers, right?
Oh, they don't give a fuck. John Cena, the WWE, this run showed that the WWE don't give a fuck. This should have been planned out before he announced it. Everything should have been planned out from detail. All you got to do if somebody died or injury or something was change players. They don't. That Triple H is fucking horrible at his job.
Yes, dude. Like, and dude, and, I was just gonna say this, bro. Somebody's benefiting from this fuck up.
But what's the benefit?
Sabotage. Like, who's the one that's gonna benefit? You said somebody earlier. You said that they don't have an official title, yet they are a principal owner of this.
Kurt ain't gonna look like shit. Kurt ain't gonna look like he done had a few strokes.
Yeah, it's sad, isn't it? It's amazing.
Is that Elias? Who is that?
That's Elias. That's the person. That's Elias out there. That's Elias. And he came out there.
How is he even able to afford them tickets?
I mean, he's at TNA, ain't he?
Oh, Booker T is sucker, man. I want to get into this real quick. David Otunga, who is a white man, by the way. I knew that when he was on Enough New York.
Am I correct on that one? His a white mother, right? All right. Where's the melanin come from? Because I don't even know if that's black. He could be Syrian or some shit. Where that little tint of melanin?
I'm not gonna go there right now. I believe he's a Negro. on that end. But at the same time, you know, he went out and discussed his true feelings, the experience, I should say, that he had with John Cena. And once again, going back to the Roger Jackson shit, Negroes had to take a lot of shit, and he felt in order for him to progress, hey, let me go ahead on it and take this shit. Because if you had came back at John Cena the way that you wanted to, you wouldn't have a career. You know, it's kind of fucked up that Alicia Taylor go out there and do this shit every fucking week, but when it come down to this, she can't do it.
And they bring Lillian Garcia, who is built like a rectangle-shaped kitchen magnet. She don't need to be here. She does, but you know what? This is her only gig, though, right? She does only Saturday night main events in certain PLEs, right?
She done been on Raws a few times.
Okay.
They trying to get Alicia Taylor out the door. They just signed her to a contract too, so this is gonna be the end of Alicia Taylor coming up here pretty soon.
You know, I started out not really caring about it, but Alicia Taylor is the only one that does not mess up. And Samantha Irvin only messed up because of emotion on WrestleMania. But Alicia Taylor,
she overdo a lot of shit. Yeah. She overdo a lot of shit.
She does.
She an unprofessional bitch.
You seen the music videos?
This is John Cena last match. He got a horrible haircut. Pretty sure, you know, this is the type of match that we've seen 1,000 times. So I'm not expecting nothing different here. I'm pretty sure everybody is gonna come out afterwards and give him something. 2 questions. Do y'all believe that John Cena is going to get injured?
High possibility.
No, I don't think Gunther is an unsafe worker. He hasn't hurt anyone yet. You know, they're going to do a pretty basic by the numbers match. You know, they're not going to go crazy out there. No tope suicidas, none of that.
You might see a cold red from John. This is his last match. And he has been defined by 5 moves, yet in his later career, he's been putting out moves that he's never done. So he may want to push the envelope just because this is his last go round and he don't see himself coming back ever again. And that's where the risk comes into factor.
You know, the cheapest ticket that I've seen here at the highest level of the arena is $400 or something.
Lord.
You know, we all got a level of appreciation for John Cena and his contributions to the business. Is he worth this money?
John Cena, depending on how he makes you feel as an individual, yes. But from an economical standpoint, for me, absolutely not. The product has been trash, and all that has to go into account of me making this purchase right now. And John Cena's last retirement is just not enough for me to spend that type of money when I can just utilize my Peacock account.
We almost finished with the last few episodes of Bel Air, and I think that's the end of our Peacock run.
Hey, you said it now. You said it. I got some family members that's going to disagree, but you said it, and I'm the one paying for it. So I'm happy you said it. Clip this part.
I'm just saying, you know.
Yeah.
Also, the next question is, do y'all believe that John Cena is going to win?
I would rather him win. I fully agree with his father, what his father said on both ends. Gunther should not be in this position. I would have rather seen someone like LA Knight, who has been eating shit. And I don't even like him, but I see what I see and I can count. That white man has been eating shit in a white company. That's crazy to me. But Gunther is already established. Gunther gets nothing from winning this match. Literally nothing. It makes no sense for him to be here.
You know, I find it fucked up that, you know, LA Knight has been eating a lot of shit. And white folk sit up here and tell us that, you know, Karrion Kross ate a lot of shit. And white folk sit up here and go to bat for him. And Bailey eat a lot of shit. And white folk sit up here and go to bat for her. But when we go to bat for Trick Williams, when we go to bat for Javon Evans, who took a large amount of losses, you know, the Street Profits only had 18 matches this year.
Mm-hmm.
And when we go to bat asking where they have been missing since October 10th of this year. That's the same day that Wesley got released from the WWE racially. When we sit up here and ask about their whereabouts, we're labeled racist for that. But white folk could sit up here and advocate for these people all day long. LA Knight all day long. And why can't we label them racist for that?
Well,
is it because they don't mention the color of his skin? Is that the reason why?
no, and let me tell you why this argument is just horrible. I'm going to cite somebody that I haven't cited in a long time, but with this notion, I agree with. Dr. Umar says this a lot. All white people are racist. Although they may not be bigots and have an innate hatred towards black people, they all participate in the system of white supremacy. So with that being said, white people, this comes from your racism. Remember that chip I talked about earlier where it clicks in? Yeah, it's your racism. That's your racism. Even if you have a black, you could be like black. I have a black, white. I'm rhythmic. I got mixed children, all that shit, and you could still have that chip in the back of your head activate when it's time to uphold your privilege. We don't see white people going on Twitter or TikTok, etc., talking about they renounce their white privilege. They don't.
I don't see a group of white people out here talking about getting Negroes reparations either.
Talk to them.
They generally don't. That's where the white folk niceness, and that's where their understanding in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's where everything get cut off. That's when you get them. What more do you want?
Mm-hmm.
Gunther is John Cena last opponent. Nobody saw this coming a year ago. Nobody wanted it. Nobody asked for it. When thinking about history, nobody ever thought, hey, I want to see John Cena versus Gunther, but he is. Who do y'all feel John Cena's final opponent should have been? Before I ask that question, who have we not seen John Cena interact with that y'all felt that he should have?
I think he should have wrestled Javon for the spinning belt.
That would have been great. But I've never seen him interact with Montez Ford. Never.
What does this say about the generations when he didn't interact with Roman Reigns?
I mean, you missed one Samoan. That's what it says. Because there's a bunch of them.
No, I'm just saying because if John Cena took over for Stone Cold Steve Austin role and Roman Reigns took over John Cena role, shouldn't they have interacted once?
Right, they have.
Well, I don't think I've ever really seen John Cena and Stone Cold work.
Nope.
I'm just saying, but pass along generation to generation. Stone Cold wasn't active during John Cena time at all.
Right.
But
you know what I'm saying?
It was always 1A, 2A, Rock, Stone Cold, and Rock did put John Cena over. So there is that.
No, The Rock did his part, but Stone Cold, but that's because he was able. You know what I'm saying? He was able and available.
Let me chime in on that. When we look back at it, when the main event, when they back-to-back main event at WrestleManias, The Rock put him on twice. In my opinion, John Cena didn't really become a box office Hollywood global star until The Rock made him eat a pin in Miami, and then he lost to The Rock next year. That's when he really became that GOAT status. That's when he really became polarizing. So yeah, The Rock put him on twice. He owes a lot to The Rock.
Well, he owes a lot to American Negroes. And if you feel like, and it's funny too.
Yeah, I was just going to say he owes everything.
It's funny too because people's using the fact that they put Leon Slater and Obafemi and Sol Ruka and Javon Evans on this program. He's going to say, the white folk are saying that that's how he gave back to American Negroes, even though Javon Evans resulted in a loss. When it come down to these Make-A-Wish, John Cena got the most Make-A-Wishes in the history of WWE. And I'm not saying that he didn't, but how many of those were to American Negro children?
Not even that. I've never even seen melanated people. It's always some bald-headed, light-skinned person. And I mean no offense, but that's all I see promoted. I'm sure he has fulfilled those wishes, but as he's fulfilling those wishes, he should be asking, why? Because every time I turn on the television and y'all promoting what I do, it's always someone not of color. He can't even do that.
Black people don't get leukemia like that, but he could have went to a sickle cell center or some shit.
That's a fact.
Yeah, I don't see him out there with them. How many American Negroes has John Cena ever put over in his entire career? And what I mean by put over, I don't mean, had them pin them. How many American Negroes have benefited from working with John Cena?
A person that don't see would say Booker T, but that's not it. Because if you compare what Chris Benoit did for Booker T to John Cena, it wouldn't even be a conversation.
John Cena didn't put him over. Now, I was thinking about that the other day. Remember they had the Cyber Tuesday or some shit?
Yes.
The only reason that Booker T won that match is because whoever was chosen, they had to put their title on the line. So I think if John Cena's title had been on the line, he would have won. They wanted whoever won the championship to walk out as champion.
Yes.
So that wasn't, and he did pin John Cena too, but I don't think that was an alternate. He put him over.
No, that's not good enough. For someone like John Cena, he would have to co-sign on the mic and in the ring. It has to be in the story.
What about our truth?
No, absolutely not.
I just had to ask you because I'm just going through all the black people that he ever wrestled. What about Orlando? What about Orlando Jordan?
No,
yeah, did he benefit?
That Rainbow Ganger he ate more shit than any American Negro that ever laced his boots up in there. And that's saying a lot. He got a U.S. title run just to tap out in 8 seconds to Chris Benoit. And I love Chris Benoit. Okay? Let me get that.
Oh, he did that multiple times. That was an amazing run. I actually liked it, He is
the United States champion, Chris Benoit. Chris Benoit has returned home to Atlanta as the United States champion. The man who won the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania 20 and won the United States title in record time at SummerSlam. Look at this. Orlando Jordan guaranteed that he said he's going to knock out Benoit. Not only didn't he knock out Benoit, but he ended up tapping out in record time. Yeah, Orlando Jordan, the United States champion. Chris Benoit, the challenger for the United States Championship, locking in the crossface and getting the United States champion Orlando Jordan to tap out in near record time. Oh my God, I still can't believe it. And Chris Benoit, with a huge smile on his face, will defend the United States Championship here tonight, much like he did last week on SmackDown, when Chris Benoit would actually get Jordan to tap out in less time than he did at SummerSlam. I know, it's amazing to me. Chris Benoit in the interim, he also made a cup of coffee quicker than he beat Orlando for the United States Championship. Then this match, then he also used the facilities, remember that? Yeah, Orlando Jordan started this match up, well, really ready to go, hoping to regain the U.S. title. But as quick as this, Chris Benoit would lock in the crossface again and get the challenger Jordan to tap out. And what amazes me about tonight is Orlando Jordan's coming back for more. He challenged Benoit in this match tonight, hoping to regain the United States Championship.
I do what I want to, act how I want.
And the challenger from Miami, Florida, weighing in at 257 pounds, Orlando Jordan. Well, unbelievably, Orlando Jordan made this challenge to face Chris Benoit again, and
Chris Benoit beat me for my United States Championship was a fluke. I beat Chris Benoit at the Great American Bash, and I'm gonna beat him again tonight and regain my United States Championship. I told Chris Benoit, I told the world, I'm fast on my hands, light on my feet, easy on the eyes, and easy in the seat. And I promise you, no, I guarantee you that I will knock Chris Benoit out.
Oh, Orlando Jordan guaranteeing it. Well, tonight, as soon as the bell rings, we're going to start the clock to see the United States Championship.
He knocked him out! Hook of the leg!
And Benoit kicked out at two.
He didn't. I thought he did. I thought he knocked him flat out. Look at this. Oh,
there's another right hand. Benoit's reeling. Orlando Jordan. Benoit's hanging on.
He's damn near on. Wait a minute. Crossface. No, crossface. He's got the face. No way. He's got that crossface.
What's Jordan going to do?
I'll be damned.
Here is your winner and still United States champion, Chris Benoit.
Every time Benoit faces Orlando Jordan, he defeats him in less time. What is going on here?
By a full second here tonight, 22 and a half seconds, Chris Benoit gets Jordan to tap out to retain the United States Championship.
I thought Benoit was knocked out with that first cheap shot by Orlando Jordan. Benoit was able to 22 and a half seconds. Oh, you kidding me or what? 22 and a half seconds.
What could be going through the mind of Orlando Jordan?
Embarrassment, frustration, pulling his own hair out of his head.
He's having a fit. He can't believe it, Orlando Jordan. From the United States Championship match to the World Heavyweight Title match up next. A bull rope match. The #1 contender JBL versus this man, the champion, the Animal Batista.
He looked like I Show Speed.
Yeah. You're right. God damn. He went to the performance center. They gave him his gear. He had a match. It was basically like I Show Speed is becoming a pro wrestler. And he got co-signed by Randy Orton. Randy Orton, I don't know what's up with Randy Orton because at one point I thought he was an actual, one of them old school, you ain't supposed to be here, boy, like crackers. But it seemed like he has a real hankering for our culture.
When people tend to come close to their retirement age, they kind of show a little niceness to us so that they could, keep their image up so they could do whatever they want to do after they retire.
You know what?
Not to mention,
go ahead.
American Negro culture is spectacular. You say who did what now?
I just did this research on because somebody said some dumb shit on that space, that little group on Facebook. They were talking about how Randy Orton basically, he was inside of I guess it was an Xbox server, and he was listening to some hip hop song. And he ended up saying,
I remember that.
Yeah, and I was like, I'm like, what? That's white people gonna do that. That don't upset me. How he treats his black contemporaries is what I'm judging him by. And at that point, I remember the whole thing with him and Kofi Kingston.
I mean, you should just at this point assume every white person says nigga. When they think black people not around. When black people are around, that's it.
Okay, Stephanie McMahon loves hip hop. Am I gonna be the one stupid dude to say she doesn't say nigga? If she loves hip hop, she said nigga a bunch of times. White people say nigga. And that's what I was trying to tell him in that Facebook group. They ended up blocking me. But they had something in that post where they were saying, Randy Orton cursed everybody out for botching except Javon Evans on that RKO. And I put in the comments like he couldn't cuss Javon Evans because that was his fault.
What type of scrutiny. We was around at that time and we were strong at that time. Yeah. These people, they got the memo out. You got to be real careful about what you say. I'm pretty sure you're not going to hear Tiffany Stratton call anyone else a boy ever again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you're not going to have, Sol Ruka call somebody a black bitch, ever again.
Oh, Ruka,
you know what I'm saying? No, I just,
Oh, okay. I got you. Hold on, now.
Tiffany Stratton and shit.
Yeah, Tiffany Stratton. I don't like that bitch. I'm happy she's not around right now. Last time you saw
Well,
her on
you
the
know,
trailer.
where is she? You know, see, my thing is this. Why is it that when people lose titles and shit, they gotta disappear? You know, they did the same thing with Obafemi. Obafemi lost the title and he had to disappear. What does this say about Triple H's creative to when you can't even have a person lose a title and maintain something for them? Like I said, it was highly unfair that Nia Jax had a great performance as women's champion throughout that time,
Yeah,
the year before last year, and she couldn't get a match at WrestleMania.
yeah, that didn't make no sense to me.
Not saying that she had to be involved in the women's title match or anything, or any women's title match, but she could have been involved in WrestleMania.
Right.
So
John Cena looks winded, and you can really see the origins of the hair plugs. I hate when he goes into the match and then his hair end up looking like the Hitler haircut, but he doesn't have the mustache, and I can't joke about it because he don't have the mustache. It's very frustrating.
oh, that big boot came off terrible, boy. I really miss Tess.
Man, who you think got the best big boot right now? I say Last Legend.
Last Legend.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Honorable mention, just so y'all know we not having bias, honorable mention, Jade Cargill.
She definitely got better with her stuff. Because I always knew it was just going to take a little bit of time with Jade. They just, honestly, if she really had went on down to NXT for a few months, she wasn't far off.
Yeah, they wanted to hurt. You know,
part of the big boot is you actually have to be big. And, you know, Jade and Lash are physically gifted.
There you go.
I'm happy for Trick Williams and Lash Legend. They are engaged. That was a beautiful engagement. He got her a very nice ring.
Oh my gosh, oh my god, oh my god.
I don't want to do this without you.
Oh my goodness.
I want to be with you forever. I love you. Thank you for bringing all these people together. So if you will.
Oh my god.
Please.
Oh my goodness.
Be Mrs. Belton.
I'd love to, yes.
Black American Negro love on all four corners. You don't see a single white at the party. And this is what the WWE is afraid of. When are the WWE going to start presenting Black American love on WWE television? This is beautiful. And I wish the best for these two as we continue to wrestle with racism. Do you give a shit about the relationship between Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch? Ingenuality? No. You give a fuck about anything about them? No. She can pick whoever she wants. You want to see how cute they are on Family Feud? No. No. Black attracts, and black is the only thing that's missing from wrestling, and that's why wrestling is ass today. We seem like a beautiful couple.
That's
very family oriented. There was all American Negroes in there. You know what I'm saying? It seemed like both sides of their family was together for that Thanksgiving event, and you know it seemed like their family may get along. Do you believe that they're going to present that black love on TV?
They had an opportunity to do it and they didn't do it. They had to do it. Simple.
What do you think is going to be presented on TV? Because everybody know that, you know, Bianca Belair and Montez Ford is together. Hell, they even got a reality show. But are they going to present that black love on TV? Like they presenting CM Punk and AJ Lee right now.
It would be advantageous for them to do it. It would be advantageous for them to do it. But their racism will stop it. It would be advantageous because, you know, Black women love watching relationships and couple shit in a reality setting. They could capitalize on that by putting the magnifying glass on couples like Montez and Bianca, on couples like Lash and Trick.
Well, how do you believe that the white audience would receive that?
They can turn their fucking channels off.
You know, I think
when white folk turn their channels off, when white when white folk turn their channels off, that's noticeable.
You know, I'll say, you know, I believe Lash and Trick, you know, so exceptional that white people would gravitate to that. It's Bianca and Montez. White people would really get behind, you know, seeing them presented as a power couple. Because they're just that magnetic.
Now, do y'all believe that? Let's take the racism out for a second. Do y'all believe that American Negroes are not successful in the WWE and not presented, but showing black love on WWE television? Do y'all believe that's possible? Because Triple H is not in tune with black culture at all and doesn't know how to actually do things with these people to make they come off authentic. Let's just say that he not looking that color. Let's just say that he just doesn't have experience with black people at all.
You know what? It's funny that you know how deep that statement is. I don't see color because it's a recycled statement. Triple H had an opportunity to nip it in the bud in that press conference when they asked him that question. And he went to the vault and picked something that has been said on Raw television with Edge.
But Chad, what I'm saying is, you know, what if that's true? What if Triple H don't have a racist bone in his body? He just don't deal with black people. You know what I'm saying? What if he don't see color? Because you got to know that he has not been around color coming up from New Hampshire and going into Connecticut and being in the wrestling industry and stuff. He doesn't have experience with black people. So he don't. What if he is one of them naive people that don't even realize what he said is fucked up?
So he thought the blackface thing was just a ha-ha funny. We all laugh about it. Like
this is why that argument never works. Mind you, I'm speaking from a person like Pecker Tom Rod, who would say, "Oh, because he did this, that, and the other." You know what I'm saying? This is why that don't work.
And to your point, Triple H and Shawn Michaels, they're like backstage buffoons. They have a history of doing that. That's correct, right? I'm not overstating by saying that. They have a history of being backstage buffoons. There's plenty of people they could have picked on.
John Cena just hit an AA. 1, 2. Okay, my bad.
There's plenty of people they could have picked on back then. Why did they thought it was a good idea to prank Mark Henry?
Because they know that they got Mark Henry. Because they know that Vader wouldn't give a shit about, you know, whooping their ass and not getting reprimanded or even getting reprimanded. You know, Mark Henry was a big rookie.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, not just American Negroes, but rookies have to take and eat a lot of shit. You got to remember, WWF is the money. Yes. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
If the highest promotion was if the highest independent promotion was ECW, you wasn't going to make any money there.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, strongest Mark Henry is world's strongest man. It's really no money in being an Olympian or powerlifter.
Yo,
we're looking at John Cena, who's in the headlock, and this is the second one. Is John Cena gonna fight out of this, or is he gonna do what Gunther did? And Gunther tapped out. Like, you tapped out of this.
Watch the screen.
Okay, so he fighting. This is so fake and phony.
No, you watch the screen.
WWE just looks so goddamn phony. It look phonier than this ever looked. And that's why I think that, like, people like Dana White looking like, man, y'all motherfuckers, boy. Luckily, I'm making so much money off this motherfucker.
Nah, I'm gonna go on the limb. I'm trying to wait for y'all to see the finish. WWE, you said earlier that they backed themselves in a corner. No, they're leaning against the fucking wall.
Dog, get the fuck.
There it
You
is.
gotta be kidding me.
There it is. Everybody's in this. Like, dude, this is the biggest blue ball situation I've ever seen in my fucking life. Like, he intentionally did it. No, Michael Cole.
They did not plan
Michael
this stuff
Cole.
out.
Michael Cole, stop it. First Goldberg, not Cena. You not. Let me explain something to y'all who's listening. If I see Gunther in the street, I'm gonna intentionally bump into him and see what he's gonna do, because I don't believe it. I just don't.
They did not properly plan this stuff out at all. They did not properly plan this out at all.
This was horrible. And
to think that he had it in longer than Jey Uso had it in at WrestleMania, and that tap out was worse than this. That is crazy.
Since that man is tapped out, this is not the way that anyone.
Why do WWE want their fans to even go through this type of stuff? It seems like they do this stuff intentionally. You know, over the last couple of weeks, Triple H will put out tweets saying, oh, the landscape of the WWE is about to change and this is going to be an epic time, and then they come out and literally give you nothing. Do you believe that this is done purposely for a bigger cause, for a greater cause?
No, this is a mistake.
That is a dumbass question.
No.
John Cena left this business in bad hands.
Oh
Like,
my
what cause? Like, what do you gain from alienating your fan base?
John Cena left this company in bad hands, man. They really did. I want to have a AEW discussion, but I don't have my AEW guys up here, and I'm not in tune with AEW right now. But AEW got momentum
I think I want to actually start watching AEW after I just seen this.
No, I you know, this last couple of months, I really stopped watching AEW at the All In, but I did try to give them a chance. But at the same time, at the end of the day, you know, they do provide something different.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I got my personal issues with which hurts me, but you know, I'm very impressed with Kyle Fletcher.
Yes, I am. I hate to admit it, because I know there's somebody with much darker skin that could be in that position, but Kyle Fletcher.
No, I mean, we here at Rasslin with Racism. Give credit where credit is due. You know, Kyle Fletcher may be one of the better wrestlers in the world right now.
And he's doing it in pink. And his manager is a pedophile, allegedly.
Just saying, I give credit where credit is due. Kyle Fletcher is a phenomenal talent.
Yeah.
But you know, AEW do have something going, and this is going to show. Tony Khan, what have you learned over the last 5, 6, 7 years that you've been doing this stuff? Can you take advantage of this? Because if he doesn't, then we have been rolling with themes throughout all of 2000 of the second season of Wrestling with Racism. Another theme besides what makes a coon is cooning a form of mental illness. And of course, can a coon be restored, which all of the episodes is available in the playlist on YouTube. But another running theme that we had throughout this season has pro wrestling reached its creative cap? And if Tony Khan cannot capitalize on WWE just being so trash, then can we say that that pro wrestling reached its creative cap?
Mm.
Can we say that? What is the crowd chanting right now?
Thank you, Cena. And everybody,
I thought they were saying you fucked up.
And you know what? They're out here crying and stuff. And I don't think it's because of John Cena. I think because they know that this could be it. I saw a post on Instagram, and it was like a little AI picture of the class of 2002 of OVW. And, you know, Batista was gray, and John's whole body was gray, but it was a little bit at the top, giving the signal that it's about to be over, and it's Randy and Brock that's left. People, when that class, which is a who's who of you can make that class is actually a Mount Rushmore, and you can't really disagree with it. When that class is gone, what is WWE going to do? Will it be an all-white business? Can it afford to
But
be
why
an
do they
all-white
want it
business?
to be all white? My thing is this. We talk about racism. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
They talk about the passion and the love that they have for this business. If Negroes are naturally intriguing and naturally getting over and naturally doing everything why do y'all want to gatekeep it white if y'all truly care about the business?
Because they can. In most sports, they can't. If they could, football would be all white. If they could, basketball could be all white. If they would have,
man, they trying it so hard.
White.
They trying it so hard to whiten up this damn league, and it's not even a handful of white Americans that's out there dominating. But basketball is so hard for me to watch right now. I literally can't get behind it. And y'all wouldn't believe Dirk Nowitzki was my favorite player of all time. If I could watch, I'm not saying that he's greater than Michael Jordan and Kobe and none of that stuff. But if I could sit down and watch the games, if I had a choice of a list of games I would watch, it would be Dirk Nowitzki games. You know what I'm saying? But damn, the entire league gotta have stars full of these internationals, and it's just not. I'm talking about the black internationals too.
Yes.
Except for Wemby.
Man, look here. Wemby that's a monster, nigga. I like watching Wemby.
And he better be. I hope he stay healthy.
And I hope he don't disrespect American Negroes and stay healthy. Because I love watching him just dog pound. There's no white player that can guard him.
But I mean, this is how watered down the league is. Because when you heard of Japanese excelling in the sport of basketball,
and that was over 10 years ago.
Oh God! How long did that last too?
Like 4 years, because he kept.
Wemby is better. Wemby is better than Yao Ming.
He's never gotten hurt.
Wemby is better. I think he hurt now.
He's hurt right now, but there's not one star in the NBA that's gotten over him. He dominates when people come out there. Like when he did the Draymond, he put Draymond in his place. Like you can get them technicals all you want. I'm 7'5", nigga, and I can shoot.
Yeah, he definitely. I think he French or something. He definitely not a bitch.
Nah, but he kind of funny though, because that shit he said in that commercial with
his mama look like Gary Von Erich. He mixed with white.
Oh yeah, his mom some big tall French woman.
Oh man, I found that old shit when we was talking about Bandito Mama. I put that shit behind the clip. That shit this nigga said Bandito Mama look like super crazy.
Hold on, bro. I gotta go to the bathroom on that one. Give me one second.
Oh man. Oh man, we done gave him the boo-boos on that. That's crazy. Let's get back on this real quick because, John Cena did not leave this business in good hands. And I'm not blaming, obviously it's not his fault. I'm just saying, on a technical sense. Because, Roman Reigns is on his way out the door. How do you leave when the top star after you is still in the process of leaving? You know what I'm saying? Owner, and I know you don't watch the WWE right now, but you do know who's out there.
Yep.
Whether the WWE give them the proper booking or not, who do you believe should be the future of pro wrestling? Any ethnicity? Give me 2 men and 2 women.
Javon Evans, Montez Ford.
Hold on, slow down.
Okay.
You don't think their size have anything to do with anything?
Javon Evans is not a short dude, and I think that's why he excels. Yes, he's light, but he's not short. That's why he's so good. He's like
That is
6'3".
key.
He's like 6'2",
That is key.
6'3".
But can you see him competing with John Cena? Can you see him competing? And then I want you to understand what I'm asking you, because I always ask this question when it comes down to top stars. You have to be able to match up with Bruno Sammartino, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, Hulk Hogan. You got to be able to match up with these people. Who do you all see that has the ability to lead this company and be able to match up with people of the past?
Then there's one name, Trick Williams.
Trick Williams.
Trick Williams.
Obafemi.
Yes, sir.
Come on, there's more.
There's
got to be more.
Hey,
Go to AEW. Go to AEW if you got to.
AEW. If AEW get, and I'm going, don't judge me for this, but I honestly believe if AEW gets behind Shelton Benjamin, there might be something special there. Even though with the age,
it's over. It's over.
It's
over. I say it's over because I never used this against them, but now I'm going to have to because I know it's going to get better. It's going to have to get better. But the mic.
That's why you pair him up with an MVP. Could you imagine Shelton Benjamin betraying Bobby Lashley, pivoting and calling him out on that erase blackness shit? And MVP sides with a Shelton Benjamin? That shit writes itself. Well, you know,
he wouldn't know what to do with that. He wouldn't know what to do with that if Dr. Umar wrote this.
That's why I said it, bro.
Where is Randy Orton?
Being a veteran, doing what he do, take time off.
Yep. I legit thought that Randy Orton would have something to do with the end.
You would think.
This was underwhelming.
Very. Started off good. The whole program for me was Obafemi and Javon Evans.
We're going to get ready to conclude in a minute. I want to go over a couple of things real quick.
All right.
Michin. Had a little interaction with Michin today because I've been asking the question, why is this China woman talking like that? Okay.
Oh, shit.
I was out of line.
You said Michin. I'm like, Michin. I'm thinking you saying you mentioned something on social media. Michin. As soon as you said China woman, that's all I need to know. Is she still, where's your husband?
Okay, this is the end, so I guess we're going to get everything else on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's the end of John Cena, y'all.
Yeah, man. Overwhelming, bro. You know. But like Owner said earlier, it should have happened earlier. Much earlier.
Yeah, it's the end of John
Cena.
But
then again, whoever went out perfect? No one. Edge had an opportunity.
But see, here's my thing right here. The fact that you had, this is not all of a sudden, you had time.
Yes.
You had time.
Yes.
And when we seen the beginning of this, we did not see the end of this, and the end is underwhelming.
For example,
this is stuff that we done seen John Cena go through his entire career that generally end in the win.
Mm-hmm.
We seen the same shit. This time we seen it in the loss. Yeah. You know, and like I said, I don't have an issue with Gunther winning, but with John Cena losing his last match, but it's just everything just came off so bad. The tournament would shine Negroes. You know what I'm saying? Negroes that they aren't going to do shit with.
Yes.
You know, it's terrible. But going to Michin right quick, you know, all I asked was, you know, why is this China woman talking like that? Now, a bunch of people corrected me and saying that she Korean and stuff. But then, you know, her Korean, but their main thing was she's black. And, you know, I also asked because Jade Cargill beat the dog out of her last night. I also asked, is Jade Cargill going to be charged with the hate crime? You know, because they got the Asian anti-hate crime bill. And white folk were telling me, hey, she's black. She's black. I said, well, does that disqualify her from the anti-hate crime bill? Now, only one person, you know, responded and said, yes. Owner, is Michin still protected under the Asian hate crime bill?
To the best of my knowledge, she isn't eligible for that, but she is eligible for the discrimination against people with special needs bill.
Really? No, I'm serious. I want to know, like, does her being mixed with black disqualify her? I want to know this because
That's
you know
where he
y'all
ceased
want to
to
sit
be,
up here and call her a black woman, but is she not protected like a black woman?
You know, that's what ceased to be whatever you mix with. As soon as you get a drop of black, you know, under this white
Well, I want to
supremacy
state this
system.
on her Wikipedia. If y'all take a look at the screen, Michin father was an FBI agent. He worked in the gangs department, and he also worked in the cybersecurity, and he worked in the kidnapping department. So for the gangs, you know, obviously that was geared toward arresting and killing Negroes. And then he moved over to the sexual predator. I'm sorry, the white people crimes, which is kidnapping and cyber issues. So, and it says that she grew up in the suburb in Virginia. So, and it says that her father was strict on her because he was around so many gang members and shit like that. So it appears that she was discouraged away from this type of behavior. And it appears that the only reason that she is talking like this is to prove that she's black.
That's interesting.
Now this bitch sent me a disrespectful, comment saying that, I know you're an idiot or some shit like this, bitch. I said there's so many black people being stereotyped in the WWE right now. Jay Cargill don't talk like that.
No.
Around her parents. Bianca Belair don't talk like that around her parents.
It's a straight A student.
The Street Profits don't act like that in real life.
Lash Legend. That was really them. Naomi. That's why she pulled it off. So that's why she was so captivating when she really let loose. Started.
I was showing my brother Montez Ford, and the first thing he said was he was a fucking geek. Most of these people, and we don't put these people down. Black people, it's a stereotype that. My point is all these stereotypes. Y'all putting these stereotypes on people who genuinely don't act like this. Javon Evans been into wrestling since he was 13. His parents are pastors.
Like he's not a YN. He wasn't toting the switch, jumping off the porch and shit. He was in the house playing. He was probably playing.
You can tell that the WWE asked these people to emphasize most of the stuff that Trick Williams say. You can ask. You could tell that they literally asked these people to emphasize their lingo. So you're falling under this shit. I'm trying to get people to stop doing that shit. And you, to prove that you're black, have to try to act like that. What does that say about people's views and stereotypes of black people?
Definitely don't look at it with a broad brush.
I don't say people talk white and stuff. Would people sit up here and say because of how Negro sound, his voice and his vernacular and stuff and the way that he speak, that he's white?
I don't think that, but a person coming from ignorance may say that, but I would highly disagree.
And that's what we're trying to highlight. Michin is ignorant. She's got blinders.
She's a very ignorant woman.
She's either got blinders.
But imagine if it was three or more. Imagine if it was 3 or more Koreans.
Wait. I just realized something. And I'm gonna.
Well, I'm just saying. Imagine if it was 3 or more Koreans in the WWE. She had developed the first Rice Bowl match.
But real quick though, you said earlier that her father was like this type of person who was in the FBI. At first it sounded like some COINTELPRO shit, but he was in the gang sector. Why does Michin come out with flags hanging out her back pocket?
Hey, I didn't even notice that. I just found out about her father's profession today. So, as the time roll on Rasslin with Racism, we are going to focus more on these cosplayers.
Yes,
we're going to start getting into these people. We're also going to start getting into the people that don't fit the stereotypes and why they are still put into those roles, such as Trick Williams. And we're not saying nothing against Trick Williams, but everyone take a look at this. Lash Legend already stated, and this coming from Trick Williams' mama, that he's not from the hood. You know, he grew up in what D1 athletics, didn't he?
Yep, that's that
I don't
suburbs
think
to me.
Trick is like putting on like a street tough guy image. He's more like a slickster, you know.
Yes.
Way I speak, like he reminds me a lot of The
Yeah,
Rock.
but I'm pretty sure he didn't come up like that or come up around it.
I mean, he probably
Absolutely not.
wasn't man on campus and all that. He probably wasn't the most part, but he has embodied this character that has this swagger and this confidence about himself, and I think it's really doing wonders. I'm a huge Trick supporter.
Wow, I just realized something when you just said that. You know, the black people in this company, they have their own niches, and if you have your own niche, it pretty much makes you easy to write. Like the New Day, those are blurs, those are black nerds, easy to write, but yet they're failing. Montez Ford and I can't think of his name right now, but I love his work. But the Street Profits, that's black college culture, that's HBCU culture that writes itself, but they're failing.
Where are the Street Profits?
I haven't seen them in a month.
They have been missing since October. And last year around this time, this is when you guys started getting implemented into the program. We were starting to take note that the Street Profits were missing. And, white folk will always come at you with they're being repackaged. Well, white folk told me the same thing last year. And, I just know that this is coming to the end from Angelo Dawkins. And that is unfortunate. That is truly unfortunate that this is going to be the end for him because he put a lot of work behind him, and it's got to affect him psychologically when people always tell you that you ain't never gonna be shit. You know what I'm saying? This is putting WWE right now. The WWE is dealing with forced integration. Because last year we could say, "Oh, Trick Williams need another year in NXT," and we could say that Javon Evans need another year in NXT, and we could say that Obafemi need another year in NXT. But they have outperformed whatever you thought that you wanted them to be, and now you can't deny them being in the WWE.
Let me expand on your point. The WWE had a PLE last week called, a couple of weeks ago, Survivor Series War Games. And the only thing I'm hearing from white folks and black folks was Lash Legend's debut.
Well, like I said, over the last month and a half, I kind of needed you to let me finish building.
My bad.
Over the last month and a half, the only people that have pulled intrigue between this tournament and, Survivor Series is American Negroes. Lash Legend has been the only talk.
Yes.
When it come down to SmackDown, Soul Ruka and Julia and all these people been on SmackDown over the last couple of months. Don't nobody give a shit. They only been giving a shit about Lash Legend. You got Javon, Carmelo Hayes. People been noticing that he haven't been doing shit. He been stuck on this stuff with The Miz, and he got a lot of hype behind Gunther. And Gunther even tried to sabotage him a couple of times in that match. But he still came out with the most noise in the tournament. Same thing with Javon Evans, who had a really good performance against Gunther. White folk are generally getting tired of white. They don't realize it. Same reason why they don't realize they advocating for certain whites because they're white. You know what I'm saying? But they are generally tired of white because this is what they're so used to. So that when a Negro does do something, they come off super spectacular, but they're not saying it's a race thing because they're not mentioning black. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I completely agree with everything you just said right there, and I think it's what white WWE fans are going through right now. They're conflicted. On one hand, they want to uphold the all-white Paul Levesque agenda, but on the other hand, it's fighting against what wrestling is.
Fighting
And too
against what
many.
wrestling is. But see
Yes,
that
and they,
but see that's the thing though. This is why I say Triple H saying that the landscape is they're getting ready to change the landscape. You're generally truly going to have to change the entire landscape. And one way of changing the entire landscape is integrate American Negroes properly.
talk to him, brother.
It's the only
You're
way.
the one I know that can make that point, right?
I'm
That's
just saying.
that's the end all be all. That's the only way this company, in my opinion, and I'm sure yours, is if it thrives. You have to do what's right. Push your
Bill
American.
Watts. Bill Watts stated that, and I've been saying this for a long time, but I just discovered that Bill Watts said the same thing I've been saying, for the last couple of years, is that you could tell that wrestling is fake because they never pushed the black man.
Yes.
How is it that we excel in every sport around the world that we are properly integrated into, and we still can't be anything
It's not like
in this business?
it's a sport like golf or some shit. We talking about full contact. It's fight. You simulating combat, and we saw tonight Obafemi. Just standing next to Cody Rhodes, he just makes man look like a child. He's really.
Well, here's the thing. When you see all these black people in the locker room, because like I said, it's getting down to it to where all the stuff that we've been talking about through our wrestling with racism over season 2. If everybody go back, literally since January of last year, when we've been letting you know that it's brewing, that these people are becoming undeniable, even such as Wesley. But it was easy for them to let Wesley go, knowing that you have behind him Carmelo Hayes, Trick Williams, and Javon Evans. These people can either have promising careers or they can have ugly careers. At this point, especially with the WWE being in so much trouble, what direction do y'all believe that they are going to go? Because it's game time now. Everything that wrestling with racism been working toward is game time. We put our shit out there. Now it's time for the WWE to do their part. Which way will they go?
No, this is one of the reasons why I'm conflicted on the Swerve. Because I don't feel like he's sticking up for his brothers. I
Not at
don't
all.
feel like he's
Wake
stuck
that
up
up.
for Hobbs enough. He should be. He has Tony Zier. He should be campaigning for a guy like Hobbs, who's always had the physical
Do you
gifts.
really think you got Tony Euro?
I feel
I don't think
like
so.
he
I
has some
think you made
influence.
that point. I think you answered the question and made the point with that statement. I think you answered the point and made the point with that statement. If he was that guy, Hobbs like that would not be in this. He would not be in the situation because us as American Negroes, we not gonna let someone who looks like us of our lineage suffer the way Hobbs has. Hobbs is a big motherfucker. In reality, nobody's fucking with that.
Like I'm saying, Trick just came back from this last hiatus and did a total overhaul on his physique. But Hobbs has always had those physical gifts. He's always been advantaged over everybody in the company when it comes to genetics, physique, strength. He's
gotten better. Every time I see Hobbs, he loses fat.
And let's take that, and I'm glad you brought that up, and we can go that direction. When it come down to pro wrestling, who has the better physiques in pro wrestling right now?
American Negroes, hands down. Ron the Truth Killing smokes cigarettes. Yeah, he looks better than half the damn roster. What are we talking about?
We can go back all the way. Go ahead. Go back to the 70s. Rocky Johnson, Tony Atlas.
Yes.
Mr. USA.
Somebody pointed out to me something that I never noticed on TikTok. Hulk Hogan never had abs.
What is up with them heavy? Because you know what? I think white boys concentrate on their shoulders and their arms so much that they don't worry about their stomach. You're 100% right. Macho Man didn't have no abs either.
I gotta go back and look. I'm gonna start going back and look.
Ultimate Warrior had a 4-pack.
I think Macho Man had a more impressive physique than Hulk.
Yeah, he was
he really didn't
especially in the 90s.
Yeah, because Hogan relied on that 6'7" physique. It was nothing but arms. That's all he did was arms. Literally, you could look at all of the old school white wrestlers.
Well, John Cena had it. I seen some footage the other day. John Cena was a
But you know,
phenomenal shape.
Bruno Sammartino was like what 5'11", and he wasn't like a cut chisel. He was just like stock.
You got to remember though, to you're 100% right on it. But to your point, HBK, John Cena was into that bodybuilding, and who was on top of bodybuilding while John Cena was wrestling in OVW? It was Ronnie Coleman.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a black man he looked up to. He was always, in TV. He did a bunch of those competitions for bodybuilding.
He was huge. He was bigger before the WWE.
Yeah. OVW John Cena was crazy. When he came out there and he confronted Kurt Angle, he was about 40 pounds lighter than what he ever was with that mohawk.
I get why they made John Cena the man. I mean, I get it.
I get it.
So they could depend on him. They could depend on him to keep that, to maintain that shape. And now they transition out of that because Roman Reigns technically look like shit.
Roman Reigns is a freak of nature because this nigga got cancer and I just don't understand it. Like that health insurance he got to be A1 for
I don't
him
buy that cancer shit.
But
now John Cena did state that one of the reasons why he retired it was an insurance problem issue. So I get that, because he was coming out of pocket for a lot of shit.
Yeah,
but as much time as Roman Reigns takes off, you would think he would come back in more impressive shape, but
but that's why I'm glad that you not. Okay, let's slow down real quick because we are moving too fast.
Yeah,
that is the point of what I was saying. What I wanted to say about Swerve Strickland. You know what I'm saying? Because Swerve Strickland was gone for a certain amount of time, but he took that time to get himself in greater shape. Eddie Kingston, who just received the AEW World Title match, didn't. Samoa Joe never did. Kevin Owens never did. American Negroes take time. Trick Williams got the best shape. Obafemi got a great shape right now. Javon Evans is in pretty good shape to be in that circle of type of people. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm
not too many people that put effort into their bodies.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate because there's gonna be some white people that want to push back and say, "Oh, well, Kevin Owens the slim down." Yeah, but it's too late. Black people been this way. They come into the game looking like gunmen.
They come into look at this, but look at this. But even if they don't, look at the shape that Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston is in right now. They in the best shape of their lives.
And look eating at the shit. They let a motherfucker like Dom Mysterio get away with.
That is terrible.
I will say this about Dominic Mysterio: when he came in as a gifted child with his father, he was fat, and now he's just a skinny Mexican. So
and I didn't even realize, I didn't even know that he was up to 265 pounds. And going back, he did get up that high.
He was 245 when Roman.
He was a big sloppy 260.
No, he was I'm talking about 260 as a fat ass, my bad.
No, he was fat as fuck. He was fat as fuck. Coming through when the pandemic kicked off, he came in at 251, but they billed him at 232. I knew exactly because they covered his body up a lot. They put that little chest pad on him like Roman. I knew he was fat. And it showed because his father is so small. He ain't no damn 225 pounds. That's a middleweight. He was at least 251. I know what 251 looked like. He was fat. Even when Roman threw him over the top rope for that power bomb, he was 232. They put him on the plan because he was just too fat.
Let's get to the meat of this real quick, because I see that our champions today is Frankie Kazarian in TNA and CM Punk down in, WWE, and Cody Rhodes in WWE, and Samoa Joe down at AEW. All guys over 40. You know what I'm saying? Pushing 50. How do we get out of this? Because at the same time, we always wanted to see Joe do well. We always wanted to see Punk do well. We always wanted to see CM Punk do well. We always did. How do we get out of this? How do you start gearing toward the young guys?
Well, first of all, they have to write better for them. AEW's all over the place. WWE don't know what to do, so they're just gonna roll the dice.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, because how do you elevate other people? How do you elevate? My question is, how do you elevate the younger guys, but don't lose the momentum of the older guys?
Yeah, I mean, John Cena did it with Kevin Owens a couple of years ago, and why Obafemi couldn't have that tonight? Why do we have to insert Drew McIntyre into this fold? I think Obafemi should have just went over like.
Oh, what is this Cody Rhodes, Drew McIntyre thing? And you got to know that Drew McIntyre not even gonna win the title. So why are they even going through this?
When you look at Drew McIntyre, he should be world champion. And when you look at Cody Rhodes, you ask yourself,
I'm past that. I don't give a shit if you ever hold it again.
No.
You ever have a match again?
I'm just saying. When you yourself, HBK 400. When you look at Cody Rhodes as a booker, when you look at Cody Rhodes and you look at Drew McIntyre, who are you booking as a champion?
Drew McIntyre.
Exactly. Why the fuck is Cody Rhodes champion? He's the worst WWE champion of all time, in my opinion. He's not a good character. He doesn't put people over. We don't know exactly where he stands.
This is not the time to be going through all this long-term champion, because we done seen that from Roman Reigns for so long. I mean, we have seen it. We have it was needed. We needed to see something like that, but at the same time, we have seen it. And you come in and do it immediately, and that's just not good right now. Because we living in a fast-paced world, and wrestling need to be fast-paced right now. It's too much programming for it to not be fast-paced right now. For them to be going this slow right now.
I agree. And Cody's not a long-term guy. Cody is a chase guy. I'm not a fan of Cody Rhodes, but I know how good he is. He has to be on the chase to excel. He's not a long-term title holder. It don't make sense. Most people look at Cody Rhodes right now. The Street Fighter teaser came out a couple of days ago, and most people don't even know that Cody Rhodes is champion. They still think Roman, who is playing Akuma in the movie, is still champion.
Well, do y'all understand that it's reasons why people like Rick Rude and Mr. Perfect and, guys like that never won the WWF title? You're just not supposed to be. Some people just need to be in their role of the Intercontinental. They need to just keep developing that role. Everybody is not made to be Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
So the business has only got room on top for one man, and then 2 or 3 other key players to keep that one man up.
Yeah, I agree.
That's the way it go. It's like,
and
it's like wanting to eat candy all day until you actually eat candy all day.
You know what's funny about that? Due to the WWE's lack of landscape and lack of writing, there's literally no one in the company that can hold that position. No one.
The question is asked: has pro wrestling reached this creative cap? We can close out on that question because I do have to get ready to go. There is a lot of things that is left on the table, but we're going to be back before the end of the year, a little bit after Christmas. So just need to take a couple of more weeks off to straighten a couple of things out. But it was very important that we did this episode because there's a grave misunderstanding throughout people. I want people to take away throughout Javon Evans and Trick Williams and Obafemi's successful performances, they've been losing. You know what I'm saying? WWE is facing forced integration as to where they are put in a position where they have to put these Negroes out. But I want people to check the sincerity. When Bianca Belair get back, what are they going to do with Lash Fletcher? You know what I'm saying? When Trick Williams get on the main card, what are they going to do with Carmelo Hayes? We're going to start seeing
Carmelo Hayes be the U.S. champion.
Because the WWE cannot have multiple people successful at the same time on a separate basis. Yes, we know that Carmelo Hayes may win the United States title. Yes, we know that Montez Ford may win the United States title, but we talk about the follow-up. You know what I'm saying? I like to look past that stuff. We talk about the follow-up, and that's where we see whether they are genuine or not. With that being said, American Negroes, take care of yourself as an individual and protect one another as family. As our ancestor, Frankie Beverly, stated plainly, we are one. And that's the way it is. This is the conclusion of part 1 of this week's edition of Rasslin with Racism. After this program, it ended up turning up into a much broader conversation about the state of professional wrestling and race relations in professional wrestling. This edition will premiere on Tuesday or Wednesday at the latest, and we want to thank each and every single American Negro for tuning in to our program. Triple H showed us a lot about his creative booking when it came down to the retirement of one of the greatest WWE superstars of all time, John Cena. As a result, Triple H must go, and he will go one way or the other. We here at Rasslin with Racism hope that each and every single American Negro enjoyed this edition of Rasslin with Racism, as we can assure you that Rasslin with Racism is not the easiest thing in the world to do. We here at Rasslin with Racism aim to exploit white truths. However, white truths isn't the easiest thing to live through. As we continue to wrestle with racism, we are in the second half of our second season, and Wrestling with Racism is hiring for key positions. We are actively seeking an editor. If you are an editor and you are an American Negro, please feel free to DM me your resume. You must be in tune with professional wrestling and social issues regarding race, specifically with American Negroes. You may DM me at non-crackers@al with the L on the end on Twitter X, which is also the place where you can find more white truths. Rasslin with Racism is also actively seeking an associate producer. Please DM me your resume if you are interested in the position. You may also DM me at non-crackers@al on Twitter X, which is also where you can find more white truths. To American Negroes, we encourage you all to voice your opinion on the state of professional wrestling and American Negroes' participation in professional wrestling on camera and behind the scenes, also in executive roles. If you would like to join HBK 400, Deportation 2025, the owner of a stolen gun, and our trusted, valued correspondents, Foundational Bearded American, and Duke CT from the Duke CT Lounge, feel free to DM me at non-crackers@al on Twitter X, which is also the place where you can find more white truths. It is important for our voices to become collective, as we are truly facing erasure. American Negroes, take care of yourself as an individual and protect one another as family. As our ancestor, Frankie Beverly, stated plainly, we are one. And that's the way it is. We hope that you enjoyed Rasslin with Racism, and we encourage you all to leave a comment below letting us know what you felt about this particular program and the program overall. And if you are an American Negro and you are not subscribed to Rasslin with Racism, check out the other content. And if it hits you to the core, subscribe and share with every single American Negro that you know, whether they are a wrestling fan or not. You may also check us out and subscribe, follow on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Fanbase, and at Non-Crackers at Al on Twitter X for more white truths. Thank you for tuning in and have a great week.